All right, in today's episode, we're doing an interesting thing, which is finding a substring in a larger string, which is also called as finding a needle in the haystack. So, what we're going to do is just take a long string, which will include multiple words and multiple characters, or maybe a long character. So, what we're going to do is just find a tiny bit of a substring inside of that string. And how we actually do that is by using a simple function, right? So let's just get into it and see how do we do it. So first we'll see it practically as always, and then we'll go no, first we'll see it into theoreticals, then we'll move on to practicals. But before we do that, let's just see the practical implications of this particular algorithm. So the practical implications of this particular algorithm is in chatbots for natural language processing. Also, you can find it into content moderations. Also, you can get this kind of stuff into recommendation systems, especially like something like Netflix or something. Then also in if we go into bioinformatics, then DNA sequencing or like motor finding or something like that. Also, we can use it into pattern matchings, and this has multiple, like a lot of practical implications, including the URL matchings, like in the search engines and natural language processing, as I said, like the text mining stuff. So let's just see this into theoreticals so that we can at least get started with the practicals. Okay, so the theoreticals go something like this. So we have a string 1 and string 2, and what we want is the simple output. So the string 1 is basically a long string which will have multiple characters or multiple words or whatever you say. It's just a long sentence or maybe a long, really long word. And then you have the string 2, which will include a simple tiny word or maybe a tiny character, letter, whatever it happens to be. So what we have to do is just find the string 2 in string 1. If you find the string 2 in string 1, then the output will be true. If you don't, then output will be false. So this is the simple explanation of needle in the haystack. So let's just do this practically so that you can understand it in a better way. So let's just open it up and now do the rest of the coding. So what we're going to do is simply define a simple function which we'll call strstr. So I didn't came up with a huge idea. I just said strstr. You don't necessarily name it to like find his needle in the haystack or something like that. But strstr is just finding the small substring out of a big string. So that's why strstr. Then a haystack and the needle. The haystack is the big string, the daddy string, and the needle is the small child string. So if we don't find the needle, then just 0. And but if we do, then all we have to do is just find the length of the needle and then the length of the haystack. All right, so let's just do that real quick. And if not needle basically says that if we don't even give needle as an argument into the stuff. All right, or if we just leave it simply empty in that case. All right, that's a good one. So length of the haystack and length of the needle, that's it. And then what we'll do is just run a loop. So this loop is basically going to just do like the simple thing, haystack minus haystack length minus needle length plus 1. All right, minus needle length. So what we're going to do is just find the length of the haystack and then find the length of the needle and then plus 1. So this will run for basically the times plus 1 into needle. Okay, perfect. I think it's the best perfect logic. And then what we're going to do is haystack I colon I plus needle length is equal to needle and then return I. So if this does not work, then return -1. All right, so -1 basically is false. So if these things does not work out to be okay, then -1 will be our false. So what we're going to do is just find the, say, a string hello, and then our needle will be, let's just say, simply double L. In this double L, okay, all right, let's just say double L. Now say print, then we'll use a function right now. Okay, let's just do that real quick. Print str. Okay, say a stack and then the needle. All right, that's great. That's great. That's great. It's going pretty wild. I think there's some mistake that we're forgetting up here. I think, all right, so it shall be double D. I know the spelling is wrong. The spelling is supposed to be N double E D L E, but let it be. All right, so let's just run this program real quick and see. This must return true as an output, and as you can see, it returned the index. Perfect, because we have run a loop and we have print the I. So basically when we print I, it basically returns us the index. So at what index did we find the substring of the bigger string? At 2. All right, so -1 basically stands for false, so it didn't find anything. That means it returns -1. All right, so let's just do that for one more and then we'll get back. So if you leave it like totally empty, then it will basically say 0 because there is nothing to find. All right, so this is all of it. See you in the next one.